Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. Today, we'll be talking about the 1997 film The Fifth Element by
Nice.
Luc Besson,
That's correct.
a sci-fi thriller, chiller, maybe in Manila, I don't know. Um, Alongside me is one of our co-hosts, cousin, last name redacted, multipass. Cousin Benny, how you been?
Good, baby. How are you?
Good, thank you. And alongside us is the fifth element to this podcast, our co-host and good friend, Ryan.
Thanks, Robbie. And I'd just like to say one thing to you. So yeah, this is Let the Boys Watch. Like Robbie said, an entertainment podcast, and we are talking about The Fifth Element, one of my favorite all-time movies. Benny and Robbie both have not seen it, so I'm very excited to hear what they thought about it. I was a little scared going in, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Before we get into anything, I just want to tell you all, please follow us, rate us, review us, send us an email. We got one today, which I'm very excited to read, but send us an email at wait, LTBW podcast at gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at Let the Boys Watch Pod. Right?
Nailed it.
Yes.
Nailed it.
They'll be in the show notes as always. So you have no excuses. Do those things for us, please. We love it. So, Fifth Element. Leading up to this, what did you guys think? Did you have any thoughts whatsoever? Did you think it was going to be something you might like, something you might dislike? What? Robbie, you want to kick us off?
Sure. I mean, as you know, I think
I
everybody
do.
knows that I am not a big sci-fi guy. I've never seen any Star Wars movies.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't really delve into the sci-fi world. So immediately my, first pass at it, I thought I was gonna hate it. I didn't think I was gonna like it. Knowing me, I get very bored easily with movies, but yeah, I definitely didn't think I was gonna like it. I went in uh, with an open mind because that's what this podcast is about, open-mindedness. Um, and I was PS pleasantly surprised by this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I went into it with a open mind as to, hey, this is 1997. This isn't 2020's, CGI and animation or things like that. So I knew it was going to be, not up to date before that time period. I feel like the CGI or whatever, or the whatever I'm fucking trying
Special
to say,
effects.
special effects was pretty top notch. As far as like what I thought the movie was about, going into it without knowing anything, I just thought it was about, just a couple of people trying to save a planet from utter destruction.
Nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I
Go
kind of
ahead,
had
man.
I had kind of similar feelings about it. I'm very hit or miss with my sci-fi. Like I kind of like Star Wars. I don't necessarily like Star Trek. I can get taken out of this stuff very easily. So I went in after resisting watching it for so long. There's a couple other people in my life that really love this movie. Not necessarily a huge Bruce Willis guy.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I never look. I'm gonna surprise you. I never saw Die Hard.
I'm not surprised, but
Yeah.
I'm still
So,
upset.
um, yeah, I kind of thought it was just going to be about, this fifth element, obviously the name of the movie, but that they needed to find to save, whatever, a galaxy, the universe. And I just thought it was going to be kind of bland and, just Michael Bay-esque with a lot of explosions and, all the special effects of the day trying to carry the day. Um, like I said last week, I enjoy the quote unquote homework of this and going outside of my comfort zone to watch something I don't think I necessarily would have. So when it came to that, I was open-minded. I guess do you want to get into the reactions of what I ended up thinking about it, or do you want to just keep
Yeah.
it as
I mean,
um
Robbie kind of like went into it a little bit. So yeah, why don't you go and then Robbie can add what he thought.
yeah, so all right. I'll agree with Robbie. I was pleasantly surprised. It took me about 20 minutes to be sold on it. I kept, not that I was gonna bail, but the first few scenes I was like, this is rough. I don't know how this thing recovers. Um, and it was the first full scene we got with Gary Oldman that like I feel like jump started the movie, and it like then I was in after that. I don't think any surprise that me and Robbie both have said how much we like Gary Oldman. So that to me was what ended up hooking me. What did I think it was the best story in the world? Whatever. But there was a lot of parts comedy wise, and I thought the fight scenes were really cool. And overall, it just made it an enjoyable experience for me.
Robbie, anything you want to add overall impressions wise?
Yeah, like I'm with Benny. I do like Bruce Willis, but I think Bruce Willis has, zero range. I think Bruce Willis is just Bruce Willis in every single movie, whether it's Die Hard or this one or Pulp Fiction. He had a little range in Look Who's Talking, now and Look Who's Talking. He had a little range there. So but yeah, it took me a bit. I mean, Luke Perry, as handsome as he is, rest in peace, completely bored me off the fucking screen in the first 5 minutes of the thing. Him like holding the gun and like free, like Luke, go back to Brendan hanging out on a 2-0, buddy. We don't want you in this movie.
I mean, the fact that he was so like, I don't want to say prominently in the credits, the dude
Right.
was in the movie for like 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he had like a major part in the movie. And he just fumbled with the gun for about 5 minutes.
That's it.
But yeah, like I said, I love Gary Oldman. I love, when he plays a character like this. I don't know if anybody's seen True Romance, but I love his character in True Romance.
Obviously.
Yeah. So,
Obviously
and
not.
Have you seen it, Benny?
No, obviously not.
Obviously not. Yeah.
no, and I love the Gary Oldman and Batman and things like that. So I was happy to see Gary Oldman. I think that part was, you know, curtailed for him. I don't think he's like one of the few people that could have played this part, and it wasn't like something corny or he made it believable no matter what he was wearing with that fantastic, half hair shield that I'm thinking about wearing to work nowadays. But yes, I liked it. I thought it was great. Like I agree with Benny. Was it the greatest storyline of all time? No. Did that storyline feel a little fumbled and rushed? Probably, but it was entertaining. And the reason we do this podcast is to watch movies we haven't seen, and I'm thankful for that because I would have never watched it. So I'm happy that these past two movies that we watched were kind of enjoyable and entertaining.
Nice. What do you think about a little plum scale from both of you guys?
Yeah, I could do that. But do you want to maybe give us your like what made you love it so much and why it's one of your
Sure.
favorites, and then we'll get into that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll be honest, nostalgia plays a huge role in my love of this movie. When this came out, I was still a teenager. Um, I saw it and of course immediately loved it. I remember one of my friends, good like close friends, um, dyeing his hair like blonde, like to be like Corbin Dallas.
Yeah,
Um, my siblings both fucking love it. My nephew's name is Corbin. So
really
yeah,
Oh,
spelled
I
the
didn't
same
know it
way.
was cause
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't know it was
Spelled
because of that.
differently, but still, I mean, it's just one of those movies that we all loved. And it has a lot of connections to that for me. So, every time I watch it, it makes me feel good. Now, when I rewatched it this weekend in preparation for this, I got that same feeling a little bit where I was like, "Ooh, I hope they like this." Like,
Yeah.
because looking at it like from a fresh set of eyes, there's definitely a couple of cracks in the veneer a little bit. The storyline is a little rushed. Like it's kind of like slow, 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 slow. Last 15 minutes, hyperdrive.
Yeah.
But overall, it's one of my favorite like standalone sci-fi movies. I absolutely love Chris Tucker in this part. I love Gary Oldman. Bruce Willis, you're right. He is Bruce Willis, but I still love him. And, Mila Jovovich is awesome as well. Pretty much everyone except Luke Perry is fantastically cast.
I think she was like the surprise for me, Mila
Yeah.
Jovovich. Like I said it to Robbie at the barbecue on Father's Day. I was like, not a Mila Jovovich guy.
Right.
And while she didn't have obviously a ton of lines, I ended up enjoying her character. I thought, what she did with the part was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact about the language that she spoke was invented by Luc Besson and has about 400 words. And both him and Mila Jovovich would converse in it to practice.
Wow.
Maybe that's why they eventually got married.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So more fun facts. The Plava Laguna, the diva, uh, was Luc Besson's current wife at the time of filming, but they divorced and he married Mila Jovovich. They were married for about 2 years and they got divorced. So
Wow, shocking.
yeah, shocker. A Frenchman married a young, attractive woman. Shocking.
Very shocking.
And this
Yeah.
too is our second movie in a row we've done that is written and directed by the same person.
Oh yeah! Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
How
Love it.
about that? And Luc Besson, just for a little background on him, obviously French, but he's made a number of good movies. Transporter's him. Taken is him. He did that movie Lucy, which was okay. I think personally, I think this is his best movie. Leon the Professional, very good movie by him. But I think this is his best. So I'm glad you guys are able to watch it. So.
Bro, Ryan, I thought you were going to tell me that your sister was a big LA Law fan for
It could,
naming,
maybe.
or Major League
Yeah.
for
Corbin
naming.
Burnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I could have she could have went with that maybe. I think, the catcher really is like the backbone of the team.
Oh, he's not the catcher though.
Oh no, he's what is he, third baseman?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Jake Taylor, baby.
Jake Taylor, yeah, yeah. No, Jake Taylor's the catcher.
Yeah.
Roger Dorn.
Roger Dorn, you said he's the catcher's the backbone of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about Corbin Burnson.
And
He's
he's Roger Dorn?
Yeah, he's the third baseman.
Oh, okay. I was mixing up them. Yes. All right. So Roger Dorn.
What's Jake Taylor's name?
I don't
Tom
fucking
Tom
remember.
Berenger? No,
Sure.
and
Tom Bergeron?
Tom Bergeron is the
The hockey player?
That's Pierre Turgeon.
that guy's hosting. Well, I thought he was hosting.
Dancing with the Stars.
There you go.
Nice.
Trivia, baby. It's trivia podcast too.
Trivia podcast. Oh, Corbin Burnson was also in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That's a good movie.
Add it to the list.
Yeah.
And Training Day.
Was he?
No, that was Tom Berenger. Fuck him. Damn it, we're mixing them up.
Training Day. Great movie. Benny, you ever see that?
I have seen that.
All right, good. So
Thank God.
we can only watch that for our own purposes. So Plum Watch, let's get a quick rating and then we'll get to that email because I'm curious. I know you guys said pleasantly surprised, but I'm curious where this is going to land on the scale. Benny, why don't you go first?
So I think I enjoyed this movie more than Almost Famous.
Oh,
But I'm actually going to give it a lower score because I think Almost Famous overall, if I'm a critic, I'm going to say it was a better movie.
fair.
So I'm going to give it a 6.8.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. There were a few things that took me out of it. Like, I feel like the costumes were sick. Shout out Jean Paul Gaultier.
That's right.
But then
Shout him
like
out.
the fucking aliens looked like that immediately took me out in the beginning. Like the big fat, like
that.
animatronic. Like, what was the whole point of the aliens in the beginning? Like they couldn't have come up with anything better than that.
Yeah.
So like I just thought that there were, we talked about the plot, some of those things that took me out of it. So, if I'm giving it a grade, I give it a 6.8, but I did enjoy it.
Fair. Robbie.
I have to agree with everything Benny said. I did enjoy this more than Almost Famous, but I think Almost Famous as a movie as a whole, written, directed, acted, I don't know, but I thought it was, overall better as a whole, but I thoroughly enjoyed this more than Almost Famous. I forgot what I gave Almost Famous. I don't want. I
I
was
think like 7.6 maybe.
yeah.
Something in
So
there.
yeah, those first that I almost changed like turned the movie off when those big aliens came on the screen. And he couldn't get past that closed door when it was closing when he waddled through it.
Yeah, that was kind
But
of
Yeah, you can zip across the universe, but then like you can't like your bot like
yeah, he
there's
was
nothing
like,
you could do.
"Save me!" And I was like, "But uh, I'll have to give it a 7.7. I'm gonna keep it.
Oh,
I'm gonna keep it with the IMDb scale. I'm gonna separate the two movies. One's sci-fi. One's you know a drama with Almost Famous. So I'm gonna give it a 7.7. There's not a lot of movies that hit me with the eights, but this was pretty good. So I think 7.7. I'm like IMDb was 7.7. I think Rotten Tomatoes was in the 70% tile. So
yeah, IMDb 7.6, Rotten Tomatoes 71.
yeah. So I'm gonna go 7.7. I enjoyed it and I'm taking it as a sci-fi movie and I'll rate it on my sci-fi scale.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I read a quite a bit about the movie and like the response and reactions and stuff like that, and it was basically like every critic or every review, you either loved it or hated it. I'm gonna go quite a bit higher because of how much I love this movie. I fully realize that it is not a cinematic tour de force like, you know, some of the other movies that we've probably discussed. But I personally absolutely love it. So I'm going 9.1.
Wow.
I
Wow.
fucking love this movie. But all the things you're saying are accurate. Like, there's definitely some things that are not great about it, but just overall, it makes me very happy. So before we get into some other things, we did get an email. I was to be honest, I was also begging my wife to send an email because I wanted her to trash it because she fucking hates this movie. But she
Did she watch it with you this time?
no, I absolutely I was like, can we watch Fifth Element? She's like, you can watch Fifth Element. So actually, it's funny. This was the first time that I ever used my AirPods to watch a movie on my TV. It
Mhm.
was delightful.
Dude, we had obviously I talked a little bit last week about the surround sound and the new
Yeah.
TV that I got.
Hmm.
This movie was the first one that I saw both the Dolby Vision and the Dolby Atmos sound pop up,
Hmm.
and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like right from the beginning, like the sound was all around us, and it was just had to. The only bummer about that is a lot of time with those movies, you're constantly going up and down with the volume, but it was cool. It was really cool.
I fucking hate that because the vocal track is so low and the action is like so loud. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we did get a email from my brother Tyler, and he says, "What up, boys?" Or actually, he said, "Let's be accurate here. What's up, boys?" That sounds more formal. Uh, like what you guys are doing regarding watching old films, and oh boy, you picked a doozy this week. This film is near and dear to my heart as I quote it regularly. Easily in my top 30 movies of all time, and on the rewatchability scale, this movie is near Shawshank level. Wow, that's very high praise.
Wow.
Funny, we are going to go over this movie today as the highlight of my Fifth Element watching career was exactly 6 years ago when Jamie and myself were in Denver for her birthday. Shout out to her birthday. Happy birthday, wifey.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Anywho, while in Denver, we wanted to go Red Rocks Amphitheater as it is known to be a world-renowned venue. Unfortunately, no musical acts were playing that weekend, but they were having a movie on the rocks night. As luck would have it, they were playing Fifth Element, a movie that Jamie had never seen. Imagine your virgin Fifth Element experience being at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. That would be like popping your cherry to, I don't know, Jesus, those abs. Am I right?
You right.
You should have seen this place when we arrived. It was packed out and tons of cosplay, lots and lots of Lelus. This should probably speak to the cult following this movie has, and I totally understand why. We're talking Chris Tucker as Ruby Rod, killing it. Bruce Willis in his second best role behind Die Hard, in my opinion, and Gary Oldman and weird blue stone filled alien operas. Come on now. Now, coming up on the best part of the movie is the quotes. These are the top ones I use regularly in no particular order. Aziz, light. Big bada boom. Multi pass. Green. Super green. Pretty much anything Ruby Rod says, actually. Heat. We need some heat, man. Rasta with the blowtorches. I could go on forever, baby. And I'm fairly certain that he is quoting Home Alone right there. The angels with filthy souls. You know what I'm talking about?
When?
In Home Alone 2, I believe, he's talking about you've been kissing everybody.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, I could
Mo.
go on forever, baby.
Yes.
I'm assuming he's quoting that. So he goes on and says, as much as I love this movie, I don't know shit about where it came from or its production. If you guys are planning on including info on that, I would very much enjoy it. Later, Tyler. Well,
No, laters.
oh, that's true. Later.
Please. With an
I'm
exclamation
sorry.
point.
I'm trying to, I was trying to clean it up, but you're right. We should go for accuracy.
Yeah, give it to him. He thoroughly enjoyed writing that email.
He did. He did. So yeah, Tyler, thank you so much. As usual, any support that you've been giving us in the past and in the future is much, much appreciated. And great email. So that I think that encapsulates like a lot of my feelings. It's just a movie that we grew up with and we still love. I don't know. Any thoughts on Tyler's email?
Yeah, I had a few because like I love that, let alone the fact that they saw it at Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Obviously it wasn't his first time, but I wanted to go to Red Rocks for the longest time because it just like looks like Mars. So to see like a sci-fi movie there must have been like incredible.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't necessarily know, well, I guess I go to the movie theater, but like to go see a movie with like a ton of people like that, like a couple of thousand, I'm assuming that must have been a cool experience.
True. And all dressed up and shit.
Yeah. And I do have a tidbit for him. I tried to find my most interesting one for him. The fact that Gary Oldman was in this movie for me while I was watching it, I was like, how the fuck did he end up in this movie playing this character? And I found out that the only reason he was in this movie was Luc Besson helped Besson helped invest in a movie that Gary Oldman was doing.
Yep.
So he felt like he owed him a favor. So Gary Oldman didn't even read the script. He just said he was going to do it. And he I don't necessarily know if he hates it, but like he's definitely not proud of it. And it's just like it's wild to him that it became like a cult classic.
Yeah. He said in like 2014, someone asked him about it, and he was just like, yeah, I don't watch that. I forgot what the exact quote was, but it was something along those lines. He's not proud of it or something like that.
Which leads me to believe that like, maybe every couple of weeks he's having Gary Oldman night at Gary Oldman's house and just watching his old flicks.
Yeah, right. Do you think if you were an actor, would you watch your movies? I have a feeling I know the answer for both of you. I'm going to say Robbie, yes, Benny, no.
I would at least watch it once.
Okay.
I'd want to see how it turns out. I do listen back to the podcast. So yeah, I'd want to I heavily be critiquing myself the whole entire time.
Oh yeah. Why are you standing like that? You shit.
Yeah. But I want to see how they made me look good with the movie magic.
Robbie, would you?
Oh, I want to know why you said I would.
I don't know. I just think that you would want to critique the hell out of yourself.
Yeah, probably. I'd find fault in everything I did. So
I would do the same thing. I would be oh, you fucking look fat there.
There's nobody that is harder on themselves than me. So yeah, I would be critiquing I have notes filled up all over the place.
But I also think maybe you might not watch it because you're like, I don't want to watch that because I'll just fucking go nuts.
Probably. I'll watch it up like 30 to 40 hours of it just fucking going ballistic.
I would also probably say to people that I'm not going to watch it. So that's probably why you're right. But I would watch it.
You'd watch it secretly. Yeah. So a couple things to note, because I know Tyler had asked for some production notes, and one of the things I was going to bring up was that thing about Gary Oldman. But quickly, Luc Besson started writing this movie when he was 16. It came out when he was 38. So
Wow.
there's hope for us all. Um,
Yes.
yeah. So it was originally supposed to potentially be a trilogy or at least have a sequel, but it did not do that great box office wise in the United States. And in 97, that was a big deal. But uh, globally, it did really well. It cost about 90 million, and which was the highest or the most costly non-American film up to that date. And it made something like almost 300 million worldwide. This was maybe before home video sales and whatever. Um, and I think that was it. Maybe I'll drop. There's other tidbits, but I'll drop them in as we go along. Um, so let's talk about favorite characters. Unless anyone has any like overall things that they want to talk about first.
I did want to mention, I forgot to bring it up.
Yeah,
Like this, this was kind of one of the things that I don't like about movies, and I'm glad that it's changing now.
yeah.
Um, but the ending, where the two fall in love and have, I don't know, god babies or whatever. So I'm kind of glad that we've gotten away from every movie feeling like it needs to end with the two main
The guy gets
characters.
a girl. Huh?
Yeah, the two main characters fall in love after going through a tough time together. um but I did kind of notice too, and I saw someone pointed out online, I enjoyed the fact that um Corbin and Zorg never interact.
Never
And
meet
like,
once.
yeah, and it's obviously they have a couple close calls, but that was one of the coolest things I thought about the movie.
Yeah, and technically Corbin worked for Zorg. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
was could have been one of the people that he got laid off.
Yep, he was. You are fired.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about favorite characters, and I would love it if Robbie went first.
me,
Robbie,
me too.
please tell us your favorite character of this movie.
Sure. I was just looking at some facts, but
Oh, all right. You want to spit any out at us?
Elizabeth Berkley auditioned for the role of Lilu, but after
Wow,
Showgirls, they were like, "No, thank you."
that's true. You know who almost was Ruby Rod?
Prince.
Jamie
That's
Foxx.
right.
Oh,
And Jamie Foxx both.
and
Prince Prince took himself way too seriously to ever
yeah,
do that.
Yeah.
and I
Uh,
think I thought this was Mila Jovovich's first movie, but it's not. It was Dazed and Confused, right? I just
okay.
read that.
Did
So
you guys see Dazed and Confused?
I have
Nope.
No, I knew Benny wouldn't have.
loved it.
Great film.
Really fantastic. Um, my favorite character,
Yes, please.
none other than Ruby Rod.
You fuck.
Oh, wow.
You fuck.
Why? That was a surprise, Ben. I'm
It
sorry.
was. I thought you were gonna steal my draft pick. I'm happy though.
No, no, no. Even though I do enjoy who I think you're gonna pick very much in this movie, I love Chris Tucker in this movie. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this was my favorite Chris Tucker performance of all time.
Nice.
Better than Smokey and Friday, and better than his Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. I
It
agree.
was it was just cool to see him, like, obviously have a ton of fun. Like, I'm sure he had a ton of fun with that.
Yeah.
Did you see that tidbit about Bruce Willis, like, saying like this could end your career to him?
I didn't see that.
Yes. Supposedly, like, at some point, one point during the movie, he's like, I wish I had saved it, but he was like, what are you doing? Like, this could be a career ender for you. And Chris Tucker said, like, he didn't even have time to think. Like, Luc Besson just said action, and he just kept going on with it and like kind of put it out of his mind. So I like that you picked him.
He buzzed them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, honestly, and it kind of makes me not sad, but it kind of makes me upset that there's not a lot more Chris Tucker. Like he just like faded off into the sunset and just like never acted again. I know he's in that movie Air. I don't think he has
Yeah.
a really big part in it, but
Not a
I mean,
big part, but he was good in it.
he was absolutely fantastic in this movie. I didn't think I was gonna like him. I thought it was gonna be over the top, but he made me laugh so many times in this movie. And let me tell you something right now, that guy fucking is a munchbox machine.
I don't want one position. I want all positions.
I mean, what he can do with his tongue down below on the fucking spaceship. I mean, good for him, Ruby Rod. So yeah, I thought he was A+, man. He was a tour de force through this entire movie. And I was going into it thinking that Gary Oldman was going to be my favorite character. And I was not thinking I was going to come out of here and think that I love Chris Tucker the most out of anybody in this movie.
I wonder too if he's like one of those guys where like he made his money and is like, I'm good.
Yeah,
Like I
probably.
don't need to act in a million movies. Like I made my money. I can do what I want from now on. So
He is going to be in Rush Hour 4 coming out soon.
it sounds like he ran out some hard times with the taxes then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My favorite character, obviously for me was Gary Oldman as Zorg. Just everything about his character should not have worked. Gary Oldman in this role should not have worked. The weird Southern accent should not have worked. The outfits should not have worked. He just, I don't know, man. Like he just everything about it. I guess he's just one of those guys, man, who could just pick out. I was thinking too, Robbie, when you mentioned him and Batman, like the two opposites of those two roles. It just goes to show you like how good of an actor he is. And like I
Right.
said, man, that scene where he is teaching them how to use the gun, I loved it. That was, like I said, that was when I got sucked into the movie because I was invested in his character. And, Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis. Mila Jovovich doesn't speak. You're not getting much from Cornelius. I didn't like some of the military people. I'm sure we'll get into that more in a little bit. But Gary Oldman to me just killed it. And, I wish there was more of him, but it was probably the perfect amount. And even that scene where he's in the office with Cornelius was such a cool scene. And just the way that whole situation got turned on him. And he even, gave Cornelius props for saving his life. I just thought there was, for such a weird character, there was depth to it from him. And I just, I can't say enough about it.
Yeah, if you think that this was like kind of an outlandish character for him, he goes above and beyond in True Romance.
Oh
The,
yeah.
the character he plays in True Romance, it's like you wouldn't even believe that was actually Gary Oldman.
Really.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
like if you're thinking that Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg is the
fantastic
complete
name.
opposite of Commissioner Gordon, the character, and I forget his name, he plays in True Romance, is even more polar opposite than Gordon. It's crazy. It's so good. That's a great movie.
Might have to add it to the list.
Yeah, do it. So I mean, obviously you guys both took my favorite characters because you're a bunch of fucks.
We got to let you go first next week.
Nah, that's all right. I love a lot of the characters in this movie. You're right that Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis, but I'm gonna go with Corbin Dallas just because when I first saw this movie, I loved him. He was, the action hero, and he was so cool. And like again, shout out to and Robbie, please correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but Jean-Paul Gaultier. Did I say it right?
Jean-Paul Gaultier, yes.
Yeah. The costumes and the clothing that all of them wear, I was just like enthralled, like so cool. Even Bruce Willis wearing the fucking like half a tux with like the gauze on his arms, like
Yeah.
just fucking cool. And so I'm gonna go with him. Although if I had first pick, I probably would have said Ruby Rod, then go Gary
Wow.
Oldman.
I'm really surprised by that.
I fucking love Ruby Rod. I love Chris Tucker in this movie. He's just such a good, funny character. And like he's one of those characters where it's like weird that he becomes part of the group
Yeah.
when like normally he'd just be like funny side character. See you later when shit hits the fan. Like he could have easily just been like the deaf actor who threw the billiard balls at Bruce Willis, like just like, all right, see you later. The ship's gonna
Yeah.
blow up. We gotta go save the world. But he stayed with them and it just added even that much more.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
I enjoyed him for sure.
Yeah.
And even to the, when I said Bruce Willis was being Bruce Willis, that doesn't necessarily mean I think
No, it's
he
not
was
a bad
bad.
thing.
But yeah, I thought he, I don't, I have a hard time, spoiler alert for later on, seeing a Matt Damon play his character.
Oh boy.
So, I thought
Yeah,
Bruce Willis was good for this movie.
Nah, he
yeah.
was.
It's a Bruce. It's just Bruce delivering the same lines like he delivers in every movie with that
Yeah.
monotone. Come on to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs. Zed's dead, baby. Like all that shit. That's just Bruce Willis being Bruce Willis. So I know
Yeah.
what to expect when Bruce comes on the screen.
Can I
Yeah.
give an Ani Mensch?
Please.
I do want to give an Ani Mensch to Ian Holm as Cornelius.
Loved
Like,
Vito Cornelius.
Yeah.
especially when he first came on, I was like, all right, whatever. This guy's kind of. But as the movie went on, like he had a lot of funny parts. I thought he looked so familiar to me, and obviously, like I'm a terrible. He was Bilbo
Sir,
Baggins, right?
yeah, Sir Ian Holm.
Okay, yeah. So I thought he was really good for, I guess, a quote unquote small part, but I thought he played his role great too.
Yeah, well, I was when I was thinking like, should I go with Bruce Willis? I was almost gonna pick Vito Cornelius.
Can I get Ani Mensch?
Please.
Zorg's pet elephant who took a cherry to the face. Shout out to him because who wouldn't want to have a little pet elephant? And then when he's got him around his shoulder towards the end of the movie, I mean, fantastic.
Yeah, loved it.
I can't wait till I hears this too and tells me about 79 other movies with Ian Holm.
Oh yeah,
I thought he was the Maester in Game of Thrones, but I guess not. The
which
crazy
one?
Maester, the crazy Maester,
Oh,
one, the one who brings back
the Sparrow, High Sparrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, not you're talking about Qyburn,
Qyburn.
Oh,
one who
yes,
brings back the mountain.
I thought he was, but
And brings it. Yeah.
but I guess
No, that's
that's
not him. I
yeah,
forget who that is.
stupid me.
Oh, hey, that's okay, Robbie. I
Thank
still
you.
support you.
I appreciate that.
Loved a lot of the side characters, just like especially the randos, like I don't know, like the divas like boy, like when he's just like he's like talking to the guy. Even that guy was funny, the steward who couldn't talk.
You know,
Um,
you know where he's from, right?
he's from
Some
Half Baked. No. Wait, his name is fuck, what's his name?
Are you talking about the captain guy that was like in the negotiation when
We're
it was
sending someone in to negotiate.
yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
He's
Fuck.
he's something about Mary, the guy with that fake
Yes.
The
Yes.
fake, yeah. The fake paralysis.
yeah.
Yeah. He's like a comedian, I think. We're sending someone in to negotiate. Oh good. Lee Evans, that's his name.
The receiver from the Buffalo Bills.
That's right.
Nice.
So yeah, just a lot of I love the some of the military people, like they just added a lot of fun. The president, I mean, fucking Tiny, loved it. It was so weird to see him in that role, but it was still good. I don't know. That's gonna be your least favorite. So let's move on to least favorite characters. Robbie, would you like to go first?
Yes, of course.
Please.
Well, Ryan, my least favorite character is the president because he fucking sucked.
Really?
Every 5 seconds he was on the screen, I wanted to fucking kick myself in the dick because he is one of the worst actors I've ever seen in my life. He was so unbelievable, not unbelievable, but he was not even believable as a president. I hated him, his stupid fucking lazy eye. I hated everything about him in this movie. I never want to see him again. Rest in peace to Tiny Lester. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, don't besmirch his good name.
I loved him in Friday because he played a fucking what he's supposed to play, just
A
a
bully.
fucking bully, not the president of the fucking United States of Zorg trying to fucking save the planet. That's not him. So, Tiny Lester, I loved you in Friday, loved you in No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan, but you are my least favorite character. You brought nothing to the table, no depth, no emotional fucking. You brought nothing to the table.
I thought he was good as like just a bland ass politician.
True.
Yeah. But to be fair, Corbin's mom on the phone was better than him.
Yeah.
Benny.
Well, I was furiously looking through the cast list to find somebody to pick after Robbie stole my pick, but you know what? I'm doubling down and I'm saying that full legal name, Tom Lister Jr. as President Lindbergh. Go absolutely fuck yourself. He like, dude, it was just every single line was delivered the exact same
Thank you.
way, except at the end when he was on the phone with Corbin's mom. That I actually liked. He actually did play that off well. So I will give him credit for that.
You can't be the
Appreciate
president because the president is an idiot, and you don't sound like an idiot.
Yeah. Fully appreciate the man, like Robbie said, one of the goats of Friday. But man, he like his reactions in the first scene was again one of those reasons why I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this movie
Yeah.
because it was just so bad. I and you know, again, I went in with an open mind. I was like, let me just get through this, but I just don't understand why, like, you filmed all these scenes with him. Did you take a second take? Did he get any notes? Were they too afraid to be like, hey man, emote a little bit? Like, what happened? I need to know the behind the scenes on like, did they only have him for like 40 minutes and he had to just bang out all his lines and get out of there? What happened with this man? I'm
That's what
sorry. It just wasn't it for me.
that's what I'm saying. You casted everybody pretty much fantastic, perfect. And then Tiny comes in and he's like, "Oh man, we're gonna die." And they're like, "That's it. This is the fucking guy. This is my president."
I have doubts.
Yeah.
I don't. But
I
I was
don't, sir.
like,
He stunk. I don't know what the casting couch was thinking. Yeah, that was a horrible, horrible choice.
I want it on record that I disagree with both of you, but
the only look before you say your piece, I'm only saying this because he's dead and he's not going to come beat the shit out of me for saying this.
that's
Because
true.
he might come
His
and
estate might come get
snatch
you.
that he might snatch that chain off of you.
I'm gonna say that my least favorite character, and was gonna pick Luke Perry, but
Me too.
I'm actually gonna pick the diva because for some reason that dance that she does just pisses me off. And you sent it as a GIF in the group chat. The fucking
Yeah.
like it just doesn't. I don't know. It's so stupid, but I still love the movie. I still love her, but that dance stinks. And then the whole idea that the stones are inside her, like, what was she gonna do if she didn't get shot? Like, have
Yeah.
them cut her open? Like, I don't know.
Oh, maybe she was waiting to pass him naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Could be.
True.
Yeah, maybe. She could have maybe Corbin would have had to get in them guts. uh or no, better yet, Ruby. He knew what he
Ooh,
was doing.
Ooh,
yeah.
that boy is a
He would
tongue
have.
machine.
I was gonna say he would have got him out with his mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a
Go ahead.
little bit of an Ani mensch, and
Please.
it's somebody that redeemed themselves, and it was Brian Johnson as General Monroe. At the beginning, I was like, I don't like this guy, and then he had
Comes
like
off as a dick.
he comes off as a dick. I didn't like the comment that he made about like taking a picture of Lilu when she was doing her contortions in the
For
thing
the
in the
records.
beginning. Yeah, for the records. Thought it was just a little horn dog of him. But everything after that, he kind of played like a little bit of a goofy guy, and I came around on him. So he went from the depths to up in the rankings for me.
Fair. No, that's listen, you're allowed to pick whoever you want. I'd also just really quick, I want to go back because I'm a piece of shit. My only mention for favorite character is obviously Lilu. Love her. Great, great job by Mila Jovovich. And just the character itself. I know she doesn't say a lot, but perfect. I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's like, it's like the Tom Hanks in Castaway where you don't have to say anything sometimes, and
Yeah.
and you're doing the job.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
old
she.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the old Shiv Roy school of acting.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Just giving looks.
She was great in the beginning scene when you first kind of meet her, just in
Yeah.
that little glass enclosed case. She
Yeah.
wasn't saying anything, but the way she was acting, I thought it was fantastic. I thought she was very good.
Yeah, very good. So moving on, what was your favorite scene? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go please go first.
Only because I've been mentioning it off and on this whole podcast so far, but it was the Gary Oldman explaining the weapon to the aliens. But
Loved it.
even more with that was the first taste of the plot with the stones weren't in the
Right.
case, and I liked how they cut it between them and Lilu and Cornelius and explain, like how did this happen or like where are they? And they would cut back to her and
Yeah.
Cornelius, and I
They
just
do
thought
that
that,
a lot in this movie.
yeah, and I enjoy that. That's like one of the things where I mean sometimes it can come off as cheesy or forced or something like that, but I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Like I said, we got Gary Oldman at his best. You get Lilu kind of expanding her character a little bit and becoming more of I guess a player in the story. So for me, that was it.
Love it. Robbie.
Um, I guess I can say my favorite scene obviously would be the ending, the kind of shootout. I love that, but I'm gonna have to go with something because I feel like that's just a great scene in general. But I'm gonna have to go with the scene where everybody was trying to pass as Corbett and Lilu.
I am Corbin Dallas.
When they were going back and forth, trying to get back onto the plane. I thought that was a funny scene. I thought it was a cool scene how everybody kept on going back and forth trying to be Corbin and Lilu. And then,
I don't believe this. Did his accent, so that was like Zorg's henchman. Did his
Yeah,
accent seem like it was like a fake English accent to you guys?
he is English. That's the
I
thing.
know, that's why it's so
It's so
weird. Like
weird.
it's like he like was like I don't know, accentuating it for some
Yeah,
reason, and it just came off like fake sounding. It was very
yeah,
strange.
yeah. It was definitely weird.
fun fact, they didn't let him know that there was going to be an explosion in the when him and Gary Oldman walked outside. So his reaction is a real reaction, and
Wow.
the explosion melted some of Gary Oldman's costume.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
John
jeez.
Paul was probably upset about that.
Jean Paul freaked out and he started spritzing his fucking cologne everywhere. So yeah, that was my favorite scene. Multi pass. That was that was
She knows
great.
it's a multi-pass.
And like, how come we can't get that technology where they just fucking zonk you out in the plane? Give me that every
Oh my
day.
I
I need
God.
it.
want it. Amazing. That
Oh
would
my
have been
God.
perfect for you guys for the Philippines.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I need
please.
that.
Yeah. Um, my favorite scene, I think it's hard to choose, but I think I'm gonna go with the our first introduction to Ruby Rod. Just him walking around like, and immediately you're just like, all right, you get who this guy is. It's so funny. He's just painting his pictures and throwing champagne and like whatever, and then just Bruce Willis just not giving him anything and him getting
Yeah.
upset, and then Bruce Willis just like putting him against the wall. Just so funny. I love every scene that he's in. But a couple honorable mentions, like Robbie already mentioned it. Lilu in the when we first introduced her, when they bring her back to life using future technology.
3D printing a Jace.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that was
You know,
cool.
the ending, like the shootout in the cruise liner is cool. Yeah, I mean I love a lot of scenes, but those are some of my favorites.
I love
Okay.
the MacGyver style shootout, like just all the different things he was doing to save the day there.
Yeah, shooting around Ruby
Yeah.
Rod to get him to fall down and then
Yeah.
throwing the thing. Yeah, so good.
A few Ani mentions.
Please.
This is more as like technology. Um, well, I loved Mila Jovovich when she jumped into the air traffic, and
Yeah.
fell down, and that was a cool scene, like shot, I like the visuals of that.
Yeah, like every
Um,
scene in the city was cool. Like the all the flying cars and stuff.
yeah, and like, what's up? Why can't I get my own personal fucking Asian delicacies just flying to my fucking house? I would love that. I'd be getting dumplings every single day if I can have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That was
just
so
open your
cool.
window and it's right there.
Yeah, and then even like you just put some spices in a little thing, put it in the microwave, and that comes a full fucking rotisserie chicken.
Chicken. Good.
And then what else? Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Maybe I'll remember.
The eye makeup.
That was cool.
The eye makeup was cool. What else did I want to say? I forgot. It's
The-
okay.
I asked Aya, I was like, was the Chinese guy racist or no? Because I felt like it was one of those. She said that it wasn't as racist as it could have been, but I don't know. I felt because he was very heavily Chinese stereotype to me. That and the Jamaican dudes. I was like, come on. I was like, oh, geez. Smoking weed, listening to reggae with the Jamaican accent. It's 3,000 years into the future or whatever. And these guys still can't kick the accent.
Yeah. And it's funny, those parasites, remember those when we were kids, it was those balls with like the spikes on them that would shake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was them. They just like dressed them up a little.
That's hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah.
And even like what's that? They even like a little what's that mechanical vacuum that you that we have now?
The
The
Roomba.
Roomba. I feel like
Roomba.
didn't like there was a scene with Gary Oldman when he was like all the
Yeah.
technology. It felt like
Yep.
that. I was like, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
so that was pretty cool.
Look at all these little things.
yeah.
Supposedly that was a cross between Ross Perot and somebody else. I forgot.
Yeah.
A cartoon character, I think.
Bugs Bunny, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Look at all these little things. No, so yeah, a lot of good scenes, a lot of good scenes. But I'm sure there's a couple scenes you didn't like. My least favorite scene, I'll go first this time because I haven't gone
Okay.
first yet. My least favorite scene was the diva dancing. I just dislike it. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's
But
like
that
that
scene
one part.
overall is good. It's just that one part. Can't do it.
Yeah, you're like uncomfortable. Like, all right, this needs to end now.
Yeah, stop it. You stop.
I just picture you watching with your AirPods on and Katie just looking over during that part and being like shaking her head.
No, I was in the I was in the other room.
You got sequestered.
That's right. I forget what she might have been watching Love is Blind or something.
Ooh,
Yeah,
riveting.
it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm like in and out. And I'm just like, this is terrible. But all right. So then I'll be like, wait, so did they get married or what? Terrible. Who wants to go next? Robbie, you want to talk about your least favorite scene?
Sure. My least favorite scene is any fucking scene
With the
that-
president in it?
that President Lindbergh was in and fucking Luke Perry was in. So any
True.
scene that President Lindbergh, I'd rather watch scenes with Charles Lindbergh than fucking hang out with President Lindbergh. I think he's fucking trash. Again, respectfully, rest in peace to the GOAT. But yeah, not my fucking president, as the kids say these days.
Well, I'm gonna go 4 more years of President Lindbergh bashing and say my least favorite scene again was the opening scene. When he's assessing the threat and trying to make the decision again for like, the thank God for Gary Oldman because he completely saved this movie for me. That beginning scene with just the no emotion, and I can almost excuse it as like, this is just how they are in the future. Like, they're just emotionless and they're just making logical decisions. But it was clear from like Cornelius and everybody else around him that people did have actually emotions in 2023 or 22, 23, whatever the hell year it was. So the initial scene with President Lindbergh almost set the movie up for disaster for me.
Yeah,
2263.
There you go.
I need my presidents to be believable. Kevin Kline and Dave, give it to me. Is it Bill Bill Pullman?
Yeah.
Paxton? Pullman?
Bill Pullman, Independence Day. I mean, that's a prez.
The best speech ever.
Oh my God. I mean, those are presidents, not fucking Mr. President. We're in fucking dire straits. What are we gonna do? Oh, I don't know.
That's not what happened.
You know who he reminded me of? Terry Crews in Idiocracy.
Really?
Have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah.
It was just like an
President Camacho?
Yeah. It was just like the worst person for the job.
Yeah.
Even though Camacho had character and charisma,
right. That's what I was gonna say.
What he had in charisma, Lindbergh did not have, but they were both not up for the job.
Respectfully disagree again, but You can say you think however you want. That's
Ryan,
fine.
I'm utterly shocked
I know. So am I.
that you like Lindbergh so much, being that you are an astute movie critic and an astute movie man, and I know you know good acting. President Lindbergh, poopy on a poop stick. But hey,
I don't know.
respectfully, that's your decision, and I
Yeah,
respect it.
right. I think I mean, listen, it may be a red flag, but when you're looking at things with rose-colored glasses, they're all the same color. So
No,
whatever. I don't I
listen,
don't I don't know.
I'm not mad at you. Just like like Robbie said, hashtag not my press.
Ryan is a big January 6th guy. Why did you like Lindbergh so much?
I'm gonna edit this out.
There's gonna be beeps all over the place.
Beep beep. As a big beep guy. I mean, he just like I get what you guys are saying completely. He definitely was just very like monotone with his delivery and stuff like that, but I didn't think it like took that much away. Like I was okay with him being emotionless in that role. I don't know. I didn't care. He didn't bug
Like
me.
I said, once the movie got going, like whatever, it just is what it is at that point. But for the opening scene to have that, after you already had Luke Perry almost fumble in the bag.
Yeah, it's true.
Then you go to President Lindbergh. I was like, nah, off to a good start, boys.
No, it's true. I think it starts once Ian Holm, once Vito Cornelius
Yes.
starts talking, then you're like,
100%.
all right,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
And then I even said to Robbie, like, wait till you get to Bruce Willis, and then it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like the opening scene minus Luke Perry, like the
No, for sure.
scientist or whatever. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Aziz, light.
Yeah, that was good.
And that other priest I hate. Look at me. Look at me. I'm your friend.
Yeah. Put the gun down.
Yeah. Ridiculous. And he's holding the key at the spaceship like they can even see that.
Yeah.
Oh man. So did we do yeah, we did leave. Okay. So in your mind, how could this movie have been better for you?
I don't want to beat a dead horse, so I'm just gonna not say what I want to
Yeah,
say.
recast of the president. Besides that,
Yeah. I feel like a little less time on the setup, more time on the stuff that happened in the middle.
right?
Because like I think we both kind of mentioned that the plot was a little rushed towards the end, but I'm not going to kill the movie over that. It's not trying to be The Godfather. It was trying to be like a funny sci-fi action movie, and I think it delivered on that. But other than that, to me, again, I'll go back to the aliens. Like, I wish they put the amount of detail into the aliens as they did the costumes, because the costumes were super believable as like futuristic, garb for all these people. So I just would the alien stuff took me out of it a little bit. Yeah, those would be my two things.
Did you hate the Mangalores? They were the like shapeshifter ones as much as the robots. Like, so you're just kind of saying all the aliens were kind of like, eh.
They could have done better with those, but at least I appreciate it. Like, those were fine. Like,
Right.
whatever. It could have been better. I wish it could have been better. It should have been better. But I do like the fact that they were shapeshifters. That was cool, because even when the CGI on that stuff, when they were like switching between their form and the
Human
person
form. Yeah.
that like that was good. That wasn't I didn't think it was like, oh wow, that's terrible CGI. So
I
yeah,
love when Gary Oldman's like, "You look terrible.
yeah,
Take that off."
yeah, yeah, be yourself. So yeah, to me that was it. It was the aliens and maybe the plot being a little stretched out in the middle and taken off at the front.
Robbie, what about you?
Yeah, same thing. I think there's obviously some recasting with Luke Perry and Tiny Lester. I mean, but again, the same thing with Benny. Like, I thought that it was slow to develop in the beginning. The aliens made it pretty not believable in the beginning. That kind of threw me off, and I was like, "This is fucking corny." I expected like more scarier aliens. I didn't expect just like Walter Hudson to walk in there and wobble around town. But yeah, then I really did feel like the end of the movie was a little rushed. Um, Obviously, I felt like Gary Oldman, you know, like his death scene that felt rushed as well. Like he just came in there, came back, and then it's like he was in there for like 3 seconds, and then they wind up blowing up the ship and everything. So I thought that was kind of rushed. Um,
I
I
kind of love that scene because it was like he stops it with 5 seconds, and then the Mangler turns it 5 seconds. It's just like another one of those like time things in the movie that it like different characters are doing the same thing within the same time frame. But I mean, I know what you're saying. It was like quick. All of a sudden, he was just like, "All right, see you later."
no, yeah, I love that, like how that happened and how he died. But I just felt like it was like super quick. That scene was very, very quick. I
Yeah.
understand, but I could again give me more of like a death monologue, knowing that he's gonna, but obviously he didn't really know he was gonna die, and he only had 5 seconds, so that was pretty stupid of me to even say that. But
Oh
yeah.
no.
So yeah, just the quickness of the ending, the slow moving pace in the beginning, and the aliens, and recasting. But other than that, I thought it was good.
I love that with when they first see the bomb on the door, and Ian Holmes like eat eat eat, and Ruby
Yeah.
Ruby Rod's just like no 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 because if it was a bomb, all these
Yeah.
ships have bomb detectors, and then it
Yeah.
just goes off.
Yeah.
So good. I think I agree with you guys. Like maybe they could have condensed some of the middle parts a little, or stretched out the ending a little more. I think and it's hard to say, but maybe if the end was like they almost like kind of like stuck it in where it was like Lilu all of a sudden was like humans are bad because of war and things like that, and then like what's worth saving, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, of course, love. It's a very tropey ending, but I mean, I still love it. But maybe if there was, and I'm not smart enough to come up with a better ending, but like something different, like worth saving, Leela thinking humanity's worth saving for, I don't know, babies and puppies or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but overall, it's not a heavy movie. It's just like a fun sci-fi romp. So I'm not sure if you did that much to it, if it would still have the same like campiness, even though, some people might see that as corny. Like I loved it. So
Well, that's
I don't
what I
know.
appreciated it too. Like it didn't take itself so seriously as a sci-fi movie. Like there were funny parts to it. There was action to it. Like I like that it wasn't straightforward in that sense. Like while there were a lot of tropes and stuff like that, I mean, tropes are tropes for a reason, right? Like they work, they
Right.
help you
People
tell the
love it.
story. Um, but I like I said, I like that it wasn't ashamed to do comedy and even use Bruce Willis for the action stuff. I did like the Gary Oldman death scene. I agree, it felt rushed, but like I liked, that we talked about in the beginning with his scene with Lilu where they're going back and forth. That was kind of like a mirror of that, and it's just the perfect end for him too, in a way where he just he thinks that he's so smart, and he just gets fucked over in the end.
It's kind of like the scene with him and Ian Holm where he's just like all this power,
Yeah,
this money, and you taken down by a cherry. And
yeah,
he's just all this stuff, and he's just taken down by some Miranda, the thugs he hired to do this. And like, how about, you're probably in this 2263, you're probably a quadrillionaire or something with like the biggest company in the world. Maybe bring a few henchmen with you, like instead of just like going by yourself in a ship. I don't know. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know if you could really make it much better without taking away some of its charm, but I don't know,
I
maybe.
mean, I keep going back to, man, the aliens in the beginning. Like you're supposed to be these aliens that are, the
Guarding
yeah, exactly, the caretakers. You're so advanced that you could do all these things, but a light
a
jog
door gets you.
yeah, is outside of your capabilities. I mean, I guess maybe where they're from, they're eating Happy Meals all day and they don't have to worry about jogging, but that was I'm trying to think of what it reminded me of, but
And
whatever. I'll let it
also,
go.
why wasn't that robot like in the door when they opened it?
Yeah, well, was he supposed to be there?
I have no idea.
That's
Or
true.
like, couldn't he have like stuck the key out and then the priest could have just opened it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, no, he
Like, yeah,
jammed
he's
his
got a
stupid
crushed
hand in the
arm,
door.
but
Yeah. You
time's
can't
not
overcome that.
important.
You can't overcome the broken arm.
Yeah, that's it. It's over. Well, you can't eat anymore. Yeah, I mean, there's plot holes, but I try not to think about those
No,
things.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it didn't ruin the movie.
No, no, no. Before I forget, one other thing I want to mention because I say it all the time to everyone and myself in my own head is the robot bartender. You want some more? I say that all the time.
That and Cornelius unloading to him, and he's like, just
Yeah.
human stuff, right? Human nature, whatever. He's like, you understand, right? He's like, no.
Oh man. And his little Cornelius's little David, his little like apprentice.
Yeah.
Just so funny. He's just I thought he was gonna kill me.
I will say too, man, shout out to all the people in the movie that cut their hair ridiculously to be
Right?
in this movie, then had to live with it for, I guess, a couple months while it grew out.
Yeah. Fun fact, they were dyeing Mila Jovovich's hair that orange and they had to stop because her hair was like dying.
Yeah, it was like
So they
breaking
had to
off.
make a wig and use that for the rest of the movie.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That indoor, I saw a thing too, that indoor explosion was the biggest indoor explosion at the time,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So is there anything else that we need to bring up about this movie that we didn't talk about already?
Think so.
All right. Because it's now time to play America's fastest and most popular game. Fastest growing, most popular. And what are we calling this? A young Matt Damon?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
how would Matt Damon make this movie better?
We call it good. Scratch name right now is Good Matt Hunting.
Okay.
Love it.
So could the casting of a young Matt Damon have made this movie better? Benny, thoughts?
Oh, baby. Young Matt Damon. We're in the future. Think about this. We're in the future. We've evolved past the need for geriatric politicians. So a young Matt Damon is elected president and
Wow.
handles this situation with charisma, with charm, with dashing good looks. Maybe he
Oh,
threw in a
please.
few jokes as president. Maybe
Maybe.
he was the Obama of the 2020. What is it? I can't even
2263.
2260s. All right. Matt Damon for president. And that's the bottom line.
Robbie.
Well, Benny stole it, but I'm bringing
Did.
it back. Matt Damon, that handsome fuck, would bring so much charisma, pizzazz as President Lindbergh. And I would need him in my life because he would just know how to do it. The emotion, the charisma. I mean, I can already see his slogan, President Lindbergh, 26, 23. It's not your fault. That's the fucking slogan I need. All I'm saying is Matt Damon would crush this role as President Lindbergh and would take this movie into the stratosphere. So Matt Damon, a young Matt Damon, handsome, blonde hair, blue eyes, just oozing machismo on the screen as President Lindbergh.
Was that a Wolf of Wall Street reference? Into the stratosphere.
No, I didn't even think of that, but
I hate that part. I don't know why.
Lindbergh 2022-60. I have a doubt.
I was trying to think, like, I don't think he would be good in like any of the like major roles, but maybe as David, he could be like a like a little bit more confident and like knowledgeable
Yeah.
assistant. I don't know. I wouldn't recast him as although he would be a good president. Young, charismatic, virile. Love it.
I was almost gonna go too. I mean, Matt Damon as Lilu because
Oh,
he's got the looks.
Yeah,
that's
please.
He's
true.
got the looks.
Imagine him in
He's
that outfit.
Yeah, please.
My
dashing,
goodness.
dashing.
My goodness. What'd you
Uh,
think of that outfit? It was pretty awesome, wasn't it?
Hey.
let's just say it made my plums move.
Yeah. Also, just in general, and this is not by far not a sexist podcast or a misogynistic podcast or anything like that, but like every single woman in this movie was an absolute model. Did you notice
Yeah.
that? Like
Yeah,
the
all
flight
the
attendants,
yeah.
the like the stewards, like any other part that was cast that was a woman was just like they must have went to like the fucking Cosmo photo shoot and just been like, all right, you 10 girls, you're in a
Yeah.
movie now.
Yeah, the plums were definitely readjusting themselves a few times.
Yeah. That's why I watched it alone. How did the okay question before we start wrapping up? Where did the Matt Damon thing come from?
Because I think I said I wish they would have recasted William in Almost Famous as a young Matt
A
Damon.
young Matt Damon, right? Okay. Well, look out for more of America's fastest growing game, a young Matt Damon in future episodes.
Oh my God.
So is there anything else that we need to bring up about this movie? I feel like because I love this movie so much, I feel like I missed so many scenes and parts that I wanted to talk about, but like, again, this isn't a 97-hour podcast. But
I feel nothing about the movie per se. I do feel a little bad for you, when you mention you're watching this with like hypercritical eyes now because it is like that feeling where, I remember watching, Aya watched Game of Thrones because I made her rewatch. Like,
right,
so I was rewatching with her
right.
from the beginning, and there were so many times where you doing that look over like, why is she on her phone?
Yeah.
Like, why are
Oh,
you
does she
like,
hate it?
and you're
Does she
like,
hate it?
yeah, you're like elbowing, you're like nudging, like you gotta watch this part.
No, this part's great. This
Yeah,
part's good.
yeah. And when it like, those parts don't land for the person you're with, it's the worst feeling. You're like, this fucking
Yeah.
movie sucks. This show
Oh
sucks.
my
I
God.
can't believe I made somebody watch this. So I'll say, I mean, I think hopefully it's only 2 episodes in though, but like I hope that you feel like we are going into these with an open mind and definitely like taking the time period that these movies were made in and not, being like, oh, CGI is stupid in this movie that came out 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you don't watch these movies with that lens and like you actually do enjoy them as much as you used to.
I still do. I mean, but I think even if I wasn't doing this, any movie you watch now, you're gonna see it differently as you age. So I definitely still love it. Obviously, I gave it a 9.1. I still absolutely love it, but I definitely see, like I said, some of the negatives or some of the faults in this movie. But I'll never not love it. I don't know. It would take a lot for me to dislike it for some reason. Maybe if it comes out that Luc Besson or which who knows, he might be a piece of shit. We don't know these things.
I think he might be actually.
Yeah. I mean, he was quite old and Mila Jovovich was 19 when he married her or somewhere in that range. So that's not great.
Yikers.
No.
Yeah.
And then one other thing I wanted to bring up. I know Robbie got run through the mill by his bill.
Uh-oh.
So Brian, if you're listening, and I know that you are, we will be bringing back some of the old movies that got voted on. I just didn't want to overdo them, so you weren't seeing Gangs of New York every week until it
Yes.
won. So we'll bring some of those movies back. Please, if you're super passionate about a movie that you want us to watch, write us an email because we might not necessarily vote that week. If it's something that you feel strongly about, we'll do that.
Yeah.
I
And
think
for
though,
those of you that suggested movies, we didn't forget about that. We're
Right.
just trying to not, like, as an example, Katie with Terminator, like we definitely want to do Terminator, but I said we have to do both. And like we can't do Terminator 1 and 2 in the first couple episodes of this. So
Yeah.
we'll get to it eventually.
yeah, we'll do them as like a back to back. I think maybe this week we bring out some heavy hitters in the poll,
Please.
like some big
Heavy
ones.
hits.
Some big ones.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad that you both have seen Shawshank, but I feel like that one might be in contention this week.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, please. Jaws.
Maybe Jaws, beginning of summer.
I mean, it's a perfect like July 4th weekend movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll think of a good trio to put up there this week.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have suggestions, please let us know. We'd, love to hear any suggestions. Or email us. Let us know what you think. What
Real
did we
quick,
miss? Whatever, go ahead.
I do have something we missed, and I'm going to
Please.
give Robbie the floor for 2
Oh.
to 45 minutes.
Uh-oh.
If you are part of the 50% of the people that saw the poll and didn't vote on it, Robbie's got a few words to say to you.
Oh, please. Get
Yeah,
him.
let me ask you a question, a serious question, honestly, a real fucking serious question. If you are friends of, if you follow a page and these are your friends and you follow like, hey, these are my friends, I want to support them, right? Because they're really working hard at this, and you see us put something up there, and you look at it and you don't vote, you a piece of shit. All right, because I don't really think that's a nice thing to do, because I would support anybody that had something, like I said in the Going Great podcast. If you had a pottery podcast and you wanted to talk about ceramics and you had which kiln should I buy, I'm going to vote for which kiln I think you should buy. And I'm going to shout out one person. I'm going to shout him out because I don't give a fuck. Steve from the UI podcast. You fucking messaged us about Baby Driver. We told you to fucking vote and you didn't vote. What the fuck is that about? You saw the message.
Robbie and I wanted to watch Baby Driver.
We needed Baby Driver in our life, and you fucked the vote, and you flunked it, Steve. You flunked it, America. All I'm saying is this: I don't care how I'm coming across. We're trying to put out something entertaining. We love doing it, the three of us. If you see the fucking story, just click A, B, or fucking C. It's so easy to do. It takes 2 seconds. You fucking wipe your ass longer. Grow up.
I think that was the most Italian I've ever seen you.
It chaps my ass. It's so easy to do it. You support
like
friends.
I
Friends
know, it's
supporting
like
friends.
It's like 25 to 30 people too every time. You're like, come on, man, just throw a fucking joke vote out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some people, when they don't know all the films, they're just like, they don't know who to vote for because they don't know which film is better. But I'm gonna tell you right now, just vote on one. We don't care. Like,
Yeah.
throw the vote. Just pick whoever just to shake it up a little.
And it's a perfect opportunity for you to watch a movie with us. If you
There you
haven't
go.
seen it, hey, watch it with us.
Can't you do that Apple SharePlay thing where you can watch movies together with through FaceTime?
We'll get on FaceTime. I'll take my shirt off for you. What do you want?
Oh my goodness. Don't
Yeah.
tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, I'll bake a nice sourdough and I'll fucking, I'll put, make it some nice little butter. Maybe some like I said, some miso butter. I'll look that up and make it for you.
There you go. We love you though. And we only we tell you this because we love you.
That's true.
Yes, there's no ill will coming from it's jokes, but it's also, you hurt my heart. Okay.
Listen, you had to get on Anthony once. Don't he learned his lesson, didn't he?
Didn't he votes multiple times, he voted. So now Steve better start voting from burners. I don't care where, from the oil burner. I don't care. Just vote.
Love it. So yeah, let us know if we missed anything. Send us an email for next week. We'll get that vote up. And I think that's it. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night, President Lindbergh. I hope they impeached your ass after the movie ended.
No, he saved the world.
He didn't do shit.
He did. He commissioned that mission.
You're right.
Hey, Robbie, when is Tiny Lester gonna get that eye fixed?
Oh,
Come
my God.
on.
More
years. Rest in peace, Tiny.
You guys both stupid.